which is two equal. First time I say, second time you say. Otherwise, many have no book, so one cannot chant. May He enable us. May He enable us to share the benefit of the learning. Equally. May we be equally strong to grasp the meaning of the learning. May the learning be equally fruitful. Learning be made equally fruitful to us. May we never be jealous of each other. Peace, peace, peace. Now, so it can go. So now we are in the Kathopanishad and we are continuing the idea that where to find this Brahman. And the last verse we read, that was the 13th verse on page 132 of the book, where the Upanishad teaches us that Purusha, how to meditate, you contemplate on that Purusha, the consciousness, in your heart. Angushtamatra Purusha. He is like the thumb size. The thumb size does not mean he is that little, but to concentrate the mind there, that direction is given, and that is Jyoti Riva. It is full of light, as it were. Adhumaka. There is no dhuma, there is no smoke. Light without any smoke. Meaning the fire without any smoke. It's not the fire of burning fire, but it is the fire of knowledge and wisdom, which is called bliss and joy or Brahman. So it has been given the instruction, the thumb-sized Purusha. That means first you meditate in a limited form of it, and then you think it is a light, and that illumines your heart and everything. So the meditation on light, meditation on Brahman in the form of light. So this is the last reading. Probably I think that you have all meditated on that this 1 week. Did you? Who did? Anyone? Good. See? Good. Yeah, that's the point. If you can really use them, not for reading, intellectual reading, but if you can really take it and spend some time, what these rishis are directing, you can see the difference in your life, what conviction comes, what understanding comes. So it says that it is the thumb-sized being, that is the Purusha, is seen by the yogis. We don't see, but the yogis can see. What they see? They see like a smokeless flame, a flame is always, wherever there is some flame, at the beginning there comes some smoke. But this is not like that. It's just to say, don't think it's a physical flame or it's physical light. When you start the light in early days, you have to rub the 2 pieces of wood and then churning. Out of that first comes smoke and then comes the fire. So it is not like that. It is ever pure, ever stainless, ever blissful, that light of consciousness. So it is Jyoti Riva. It is like a Jyoti. Jyoti is the light of the light. We every day in the evening we pray, we say, light of the light. Sri Ramakrishna is described by Swami Vivekananda to meditate as light of the light. And same idea. Jyotira Jyoti Ujala Hidi Kandara Tumi Tomo Bhanjanohar. Every day we don't sing that song in Sanskrit, but its meaning is that the light of the light, in the form of a who illumines the cave of the heart. So the cave, see, this is the cave of the heart. The heart is lighted, And that light is a spontaneous light, eternal light. You first focus on there. See how Upanishad and your Dhyana mantra goes together. Swami Vivekananda is a modern sage. Is a modern, in the modern age, he is the giver of wisdom and knowledge. And he's asking Sri Ramakrishna to meditate in the evening prayer every day. Khandana bhava bandhana jaga bandhana. In that prayer, Jyotiro Jyoti ujala hridhi kandara. Jyotiro Jyoti, it is the light of the light. Ujala hridhi kandara, it is illumining the cave of your heart. Ujala hridhi. Tumi tama bhanjana. You destroy all tamas, the darkness, the ignorance. See how Upanishad has said thousands of years before. And we meditate on Ramakrishna. You should have to think that who is Ramakrishna. Ramakrishna is not a man as we observe as a human personality. Yes, he took a human personality, but he is not a man like you and me. But it is the Jyotiro Jyoti, the light of the light. It is, and it destroys all the darkness. That is Ramakrishna we worship. And see how Kathopanishad has instructed us to meditate on the same idea that Angushtamatra Purusha. Here is the Purusha, we are saying Ramakrishna. Jyoti Rivo Adhumaka. It is like the light, and there is no smoke, means no darkness, no ignorance. And that is the Ishano Bhuta Bhabbasya. He is the Ramakrishna is who? Here, I am taking Ramakrishna because it matches so much in the philosophy of the Upanishad. That's why he called Ramakrishna is called the Upanishad Purusha. He is the embodiment of Upanishad. What Upanishad has described, it is Ramakrishna has been described there. And that is that it is this being. And this being, this Ramakrishna, do you see that humble guy sitting like that and does not know anything of the world as it were, so naive. But he's the controller of the time, past, present and future. Ishana Bhuta Bhavyasya. Bhuta is created and Bhavi in the future. He's the Ishana, the controller of what was in the past, what is coming in the future, and also the present. Is the controller of the time itself. And everything in this creation is time, and in the time means space, and space means time, space means there is a causation. So he is the controller. Think of Ramakrishna in that spirit. It's a Vedantic spirit, Upanishadic spirit. That is the real picture of Ramakrishna. Though he incarnated as a human being, but this can be viewed in this way, that he is the real spirit behind all this diverse creation. So, Ishana Bhuta Bhabbasya Saeva Doshaushva, and it is always there. He was there, and who will be in future, who was there, is here, and will be in the future, now as well as in the future. And Etad Vaitat O Nachiketa, you have asked about Brahman. You have asked about the truth beyond death, birth and death. That was your question. You know, this is that. That is the Brahman you are seeking for, you are asking for. Contemplate on that, meditate on that, and see the real nature of the divine. So this is a very beautiful idea. Those who are, and that's why Upanishad is to be read in the light of Ramakrishna. And this gives a new horizon of understanding, and how we can find that it has been manifested in the person of Sri Ramakrishna. Now we have read that. That was the 13th verse. Now let us go to the 14th verse. Yatha udakang durge prishtam, yathodakang durge prishtam, parvateshu vidhavati, parvateshu vidhavati, evam dharman pritham pashyam, evam dharman prithak pashyam, taneva anuvidhavati, tameva anuvidhavati. So he says that when it rains in the inaccessible hill areas, the rainwater runs down the hillsides in scattered streams. In the same way, a person may think each individual has a self of his own because each has a body with the distinct features, but he who he thinks thus goes the same way as those features and he perishes. That means if you think that we are all separate, this is giving the wisdom of Vedanta. Normally, we think I am separate from you, you are separate from me. Bodily we are separate, mentally we are separate, intellectually we are separate, emotionally we are separate. So this separation is your misconception. There is no separation in it. It is like this is the example of ancient time, when the rain sharp falls on the top of the mountain, it goes in different streams in different directions. You, me are like one stream here, one stream there, one stream. And that appears different, its journey is different, its movement is different. But it is not different, it is the same water. And when it merges into the ocean, it becomes the same. So in the journey, beginning it is the same, and end it is the same. And in the journey, it appears to be different. So if you see different, then you are in ignorance. You are in bondage. This wonderful idea, no? And then poetic also. Jatha udakam durge brishtang parvate subhyudhavati. Parvata means the mountains. When the rain, udakam, the waters, brishtang, in the rain, falling upon that gets split in different directions. Evang dharman prithak pasyan. When you see that your dharma, my dharma, your life, my life, we are all different. It is pasyan tanevo anuvidhavati. They become like that, scattered. I am different, you are different, and the knowledge becomes scattered. And when their ignorance is, in ignorance we see diversity. In knowledge we see the oneness. And when there is oneness, there is joy. When there is split, there is suffering and pain, anger and hatred. When you see someone separate from me, then comes your all frustrations, anger, and all these diverse types of reactions. But when you know I am one, then you cannot hurt anyone. You cannot, the question of charity does not come. You serve yourself. All the philosophy of Vedanta is coming. Shiva Jnana Jiva Shiva, what Ramakrishna taught us, Vivekananda taught us. It is Shiva. You are all Shiva. And the garb of this outer costume. So, you go back to that oneness. And there is the integrity, there is the harmony, there is the peace, there is the joy. And as much is the distinction. I am different from you. My religion is different from your religion. My way of path is different than that of you. So we are all diversified. Diversification is not wrong because the streams will flow in different directions. That is the plan of creation. But because of this distinction, everyone takes the supremacy and wants, I am the right, you are wrong. And this contradiction and this fight continues and continues. And that is the problem of our life, where we see. Upanishad says, Ya evo iho nana eva pashyati, nana eva pashyati, mrityu sham mrityum apnoti, ya iho nana eva pashyati. He enters from death to death. That means cycle of birth and death, and in this life, death to death. Fear, anxiety, worries. Who? Jayyo naneva pashyati. He who sees that nana means variance. You are separate, I am separate, everything is separate. So, and then therefore I am the only right thing and you are all wrong. So they enter from death to death. But who see that oneness, they live in eternity. They are the people of wisdom and they have reached the right understanding. So this is a very beautiful verse what the Upanishad reminds us that the Upanishad emphasizing that the individual self and the cosmic self, they are one and the same. Pity those people who think they are separate. Such people are born again and again. An illustration is given here to show the difference between appearances and reality. The rainwater that falls in different parts of the hills is pure. The resource of that water is the same, but the water divides into different streams as it runs down the hills. Not only that, the water also assumes different colors, yellow, grey, and so on. That's true. When it passes through different journey, there is a green soil. Soil's color is different. In each place, somewhere it may be grey, somewhere it's pink, somewhere something. But it is the water. So we see different colors. But it is the one pure water coming down in streams and making variety. The same water thus appears divided and separate. Similarly, it may appear that each individual has a self of his own because he has a body that is distinct from other bodies. But the Upanishad warns us that it is a mistake to attach any importance to the body and how it looks. That's a very important point. We always, the whole world looks at the body, my mind, and my understanding and my thing. And there is the conflict, that's why my and you. But we are all, Upanishad always teaches the message of unity, message of harmony, message of peace. And that we forget. The body is a superimposition and therefore not real. It is perishable. Look at the waves in the ocean. I always probably every day bring this example. Suppose you think that we are different waves in the ocean of consciousness. Think yourself. You are one wave, you look like maybe 6 feet tall, I may be 4 feet tall. You may be little heavy or light, I may be little this and that. My skin color, this color, all are different. But it's all a dancing and playing one part on one substratum of infinity. And in reality, there is no distinction between this wave and that wave because it is made of the same constant. But it is superimposed that I am separate, you are separate, this wave separate, that wave separate. If you read Ashtavakra Samhita, the greatest, grandest book of Vedanta, we can take up after Katha. That will be wonderful. They say every verse inspires you to meditate. There you will find that this example of the ocean and the waves and the ripples has been brought again and again and again to imprint on our mind that it is the same ocean, only in diversity. So you see diversity, you can enjoy if you know it is ocean in different forms. But you will be crying and weeping if you do not understand it is the one water. It is all play going on. There is Nitya and Leela, that is the absolute and the divine. Play. So sport, this is sport going on, but it is the play of the divine. So this idea of oneness mixed with this idea of diversity. How to bridge this gap? The Upanishad is helping us. It may appear that each individual has a self and his own because he is a body that is distinct from the other bodies. But the Upanishad warns us that it is a mistake to attach any importance to the body and how it looks. The body is a superimposition and is therefore not real. It is perishable. This body perishes. The shape of the wave, as it rolls on, either sometimes it adds, swells more, sometimes reduces, and the wave becomes merged into the ocean. So this changes is happening in the wave form, and these are all waves. We grow, that's why what are the changes according to scriptures? It's called 6 changes we go through all our life.
Oh yeah. Birth, growth, subsistence, decay, or maturity.
And then decay and death.
death.
So these are the 6 changes. We are born in mother's womb invisible, and then we come out and then we become a baby. Existence, that's why Osti. First is Osti. You are there, but no one knows. That's Osti. Jayate. The second stage is you are born. The world knows that you are here. Like, in the ocean, a cool breeze somewhere is flowing. There you don't see any ripple, but it is gaining force. And you see, ripple, little ripple is coming up, and then grows, grows, grows. If you minutely observe how it becomes a big wave, that is the way. So, osti jayate, viparinamate, apakshiyate, mrityu. Baddhate. So it is existence, then birth, then growth, and in growing, it reaches certain optimum, then it declines like that, and one day it dissolves. So you are saying a change of things, taking as our life, as me. If we look at us, really, imagine how we are here now today, what a journey we have already made, and what we are moving on every minute. So it is going like that. And this whole change, we call it is our life. But whereas it is life, if you see this change is life, then you are nowhere. Which part of your existence you say, why the light is doing like that? Because it is sensor light, I heard. Well, it's sensor light, so I am doing like that and it is sensing. Naki, I do not know. We are getting more sophisticated. So, that this changes, we take it as the reality. As a result, we don't focus our attention. What is the constituent thing getting into the change and moving every time, transforming itself, and one day it was invisible, it goes to the invisible. No? In between, there is a play. So this, if we understand, then no, we came from the ocean. We are rolling in the ocean. We are maturing in the ocean. And we are declining into the ocean. And we dissolve into the ocean. And what you, me, these are all different waves. You are another, I am another. But have the multiplicity. Vedanta does not say that there will be no multiplicity. So long you are in body-mind concept, you will see the diversity. But to understand, it is in name and form. It is in change of time and space. It is happening. But in reality, it is the same ocean in the flux or undisturbed. So this is the same thing. So if one can see, while this wave is continuing, and understand that is the same ocean water in different forms, his is the knowledge or hers is the knowledge, and that will liberate from all anxieties, worries, death, fear, all these things which are burdened with, and we go to doctors for anxiety treatment and also take medicine and pills to get night sleep. These are because of this diversity. But when we understand that, then you become a source of joy. There is nothing which can trouble you. So that is the idea. Yes, you are putting in some question.
We just want to, like how we get from the repeated cycle of birth and death to actual immortality.
Only you know that you are infinite, that's all. Very simple. But you know, that doesn't mean that if you wish, even all these people whom we see in the wall, we over every day salute our head, they are incarnated like you and me. But they know it, that's why they are eternally free. That's why you are remembering them. Who remembers so many billion, 7 billion people in the world? Who cares for whom? Who remembers whom? But why we remember Christ and Buddhas? Only they knew it and they played their role and they are established in that knowledge And their saying is so strong, so powerful, that it creates faith and trust in us, and they remember because they have caught the eternity in their hand.
I would say, it's just occurring to me that part of, I think, what separates a Buddha and Christ, and on an extent like an artist like Da Vinci or just spectacular people, is the lack of parent roles.
Lack of?
The lack of parent roles. I feel like they don't have physical kids, but like Ramakrishna, Holy Mother, they have spiritual kids. I feel like the parent role traps us just biologically into repeating the same kind of cycle. Like I can't run after immortality. I have to look after somebody.
Buddha had a wife and child.
Very true.
But they renounce it.
And he didn't tend them. I think he's got a point.
It's just a thought.
Yeah, that you can say, but that is why the Lord of the universe, those are we call incarnation. Why they are born? That philosophy is that he, out of compassion, who has no body, who is infinite, who is always the Brahman absolute, he comes down and takes the role and plays in such a way to help the suffering humanity without any purpose of his own. He has no business. He will not get some commission by helping us. Or what you call? That means as many books sell and you get some percentage, no? Royalty, yes. They will not get any royalty. They don't get anything. Rather, they don't get any return of even people. We survive because of them, but we don't give enough thanks every day. When I was talking about that, everything, we are every day, we take it for granted that it is, I am earning, I am eating, I have cooked and I am eating. That day we are talking, no? But the real thing is that you are cooking, you are learning, you take it for granted that because of you earn the money, you put it in the bank and you purchased it and you cooked. But you have to know that every grain of morsel of food you get, it is God's grace. That you will understand when you become like a wandering monk for a few days in India. Then what will happen? You go beg from door to door, and you see, someday you may get something, may not get something. Someday you are fasting, and suddenly you have been driven out thinking that you are a beggar. And then you are thinking, okay, oh Lord, okay, this is the way it will go. And suddenly you find that somebody brings some food and gives you that. You said, oh my God, God has come to feed me today. I get to tell you, because you're digressing a little bit. There was two Swamis in the Himalayas. Two of our great Swamis, Ramakrishna Mission Swamis, they went to Uttarkasi or Rishikesh, and they are doing meditation and practice in small huts, temporary huts. Roof is thatched roof, just a room you can enter into it, but it is all very what you call weak building, not building. It is made of some straws and this and that. And they do go for that, and that was this Durga Puja time. This Durga Puja time, many of you have observed what is Durga Puja. Online, if you even not gone, you can go today and go balloonmart.org. And there you find the Durga Puja celebration on streaming video. It is already after streaming, they have kept it. Anyone can see, directly feel what is going on. So these two sadhus, they had a regular plan that they will every day come for reading some of gospel. They do their meditation practice, but they will have to go toward begging. So the begging time, before that they will join together in one place, either this sadhu's home means kutia, and all the other sadhus. So that was going on, and they were reading. But before reading, one of the sadhus said, oh, today is a big celebration going on in Belur Math. How many thousands of people will come and how much merriment is going on. But, we are in the forest living over here and we do not know. Okay, we will not go for any food. Let us see what mother does today. See? One of them just challenged that way. Okay, we will not go for begging today. They came to study the gospel, discuss something, and then they will go both, walk, and beg something and come back. That was their daily routine. But a crazy thought came in their mind that, okay, let us see. Balloon Mott, so many feeding is going on, 30,000, 40,000 people they are feeding. And now, at that time may not be 30,000, maybe 20,000 or 10,000. Now it is 38,000, I heard this time, 40,000. So, and so much of joy and singing and praying and bhajan and everything is going on. And we are in this isolated corner. Okay, we will not go. So they they afterward got engaged in discussing about the gospel and this philosophy of this reading, Upanishad, this, that. They're combining and discussing two scholarly Swami. And then ultimately, suddenly he saw that they are deeply engrossed and they forgot that they have said such things that let us see what mother does. And suddenly, an old man, almost half naked, as in sadhus. So he came and with a small, what you call the water pot or something like that, kamandal or something, and came and just came in and started telling, without saying anything, knocked the door and opened it, and then he's ordered, bring your bartan. Bartan means whatever pot or drinking thing you have. And both of them really didn't think much, didn't see them. Only we have one, in that place, only one glass maybe they are available, or I do not know, Bhiksha Patra or whatever. Then he said, we have two, what shall we do with the something? And then he came and poured something from his empty vessel. He emptied the vessel in one and asked, drink, you drink this, and order. And then he thought, we are two, how can I drink from one? But anyhow, he drank. Then he ordered, bring your patra, the pot again. And he poured it, and it's hot, warm milk. That's a very cool area at that time, Durga Puja's time, on the bank of Ganga, so it is not very pleasant. But it's a hot milk, and in that area it is not possible that some resident is around and he is not keeping in a flask so that it is hot and warm. It does not make any sense. And they put it again, and then the glass became full, and then asked other Swami, you take now. And just saying so, and they came out, and where did he go? Both the sadhus then suddenly said, Ari, what has happened? Where this old man came from? And they forgot that they have challenged today that mother, let us see mother, how mother feeds us. And then, but now, both of them, when they came into awareness, then what is this miracle? He came only one pot and poured it, and then I drank that, and then he poured again, and the hot milk came from where? Let us go and search. So you go this way, he goes that way. So both of them tried to find out any person around, but they could not find anyone around that place. Then they came back and said, we should not challenge like that. It's mother. We have bothered the Lord to carry our milk. See how their understanding is coming. I got this milk. If anyone brings me a glass of milk, shall I think anything special? Oh, God has brought me the milk. But under that circumstances, he got the direct inward understanding that God sees everyone's welfare. Even in the deepest forest or in deepest danger, there is somebody who is helping you, who is protecting you. That is God. So, this is a very inspiring story to not one, I can cite many. But the question is that we don't think that we are nurtured by the same consciousness. We think that my buddhi, I earn money, I get this food. You earn so much money, but some days go, you cannot eat. have no time to eat at all. So your earning is for food does not match with your principle. That means it is all God's play going on. So who understands this? It's all God's play going on. And God is in different costume. See, what a joy comes. And that is called the spiritual joy. So that they are emphasizing that this is superimposition, the body is superimposed. If anyone thinks that the body is real and that each individual has a separate self, he is ignorant and he goes the same way as the body. As the body goes, he also destroys himself. That is, he perishes. Moreover, he is born again and again because of his attachment to the body. The Upanishad forcefully asserts that the individual self is also the cosmic self. This self in you is the same as the cosmic self. That light within, as you have just the other verse you read, in the hridaya, in the heart, that light, and that light is in everyone's heart. It is the same light. And that is the Upanishad is trying to assert that individual self is also the cosmic self. The individual self seems to be separate because of his association with the body. But this is merely an appearance, just as this same rainwater appears divided and separate, arising from its association with the hill and the earth. Because of the circumstances, there is hill, the same water pouring separates out. So similarly, because of the ignorance, because of our body identification, we think we are all separate. But in essence, we are all supported, nurtured, cared, and driven by the same spiritual force which is behind all of us. That is the unity. But it becomes different because the channel through which it is coming, these are not the same. The same light coming through different glasses of different color, it appears like that different, but the light is the same. So it is this verse says that they go from death to death. Now, next verse says 15. Yatho udakyan shuddhe shuddhama shiktam yatho dakam shuddhe shuddhama shiktam tadrigevo bhavati tadrigeva bhavati evam muner bijanato atma evam muner bijanato atma bhavati gautamaha bhavati gautama. So, O Gautama, Gautama means that here meaning that Nachiketa. His father was Gautam, Gautam son, Gautama. Jatha, as Shuddhe Shuddhama Shiktam Tadrigava Bhavati. If you pour distinct clear water and another clear water, pour in it, what will happen? It will be Shuddha. It will be pure water added to you in a pure water. If you add some pure water, what happens?
Still pure.
It remains the pure. Same thing. Tadrigevo bhavati. It becomes the same. It remains the same. Shuddha, pure. Evam munir bijanato atma. The same thing happens to the one person, individual like any one of us, or of a sage who attains the self-knowledge that he becomes one with Brahman. Then Atma Bhavati Gautama. Even if one knows that I am Shuddha, I am that Satchidananda, that light what we talk about to meditate in the thumb-like position in the heart, that is the light of the light. If the thing and can get absorbed into it, what will happen? It is like he will merge into the infinite purity, his own identity, and he becomes immortal. So when you see the distinction that you are in the cycle of death to death, birth to death, and it goes on continuously. But when one understands it is the Shuddha and Shuddha, pure, this Atman is pure, and that is pure. And when this pure Atman is merges, separated because of this journey, when it merges into that oneness, then that becomes immortal. So that is the way of freedom. So here is the difference between one individual who sees the same self everywhere and another who sees a separate self in every separate being. The first person knows that capital self, means the big self, knows the big self. But the second has no idea about it, as we are. We all know we are all individuals, no? But that's why we don't know that joy of that identification. Why people feel so much joy when a friend meets a friend? Union is always joyful. Separation is always painful. The whole life is joining. And mysteriously, look at that Sri Ramakrishna's life. When he was learning the mathematics, arithmetic, and it is said that he only learned to addition. And when the teacher started teaching him subtraction, he said, I cannot take it, my head is really. And his arithmetic ended there. This has a great significance here. Who knows to unite, that is called knowledge. Separation is ignorance. In this whole world, see, wherever there is friendship, there is connection, there is peace, there is harmony, there is joy. Whenever there is this separation, it is pain, it is all horrible things, which is the experience of everyone in the world. No? So this is the point, that seeing that oneness and not seeing that oneness makes one who is spiritual, who is non-spiritual. And his approach towards life and the suffering and pain what he gets. No one can save that person unless that person accepts the idea of oneness. That's why Vedanta is the highest subject of contemplation. It should be for the modern age. Science and technology is running towards that oneness and trying to find that oneness behind all material objects. One energy in different names, one power, one source which manifests in different ways. And Vedanta tells, furthermore, behind that energy, what is that? Pranasya prana. It is not the prana, the energy. This is the prana which makes us, feels us alive. And prana also means the energy. Behind this energy, what is that energy? The Kena Upanishad, we read that, Kena Upanishad. That Kena Upanishad, this very first question was raised. Kene shitang preshitang patati manaha. Goaded by whom or guided by whom? Desired by whom? Kena ishitam preshitang. As if I am forced. Who is there behind me? Patati manaha, my mind falls or rounds for the objects. Patati manaha. Kena prana pratama praiti yukta. Who is there? Who is this prana vayu? It's called the prathama, the first. Without that, all secondary comes. Prana vayu, if the breath is not there, then you have no function of digestion, you have no function of your all the other functions which the prana vayu does. So, K, who is there? Who is Chakshu, Shrotram, Kaudevo, Junakti, to the eyes, to the ears, to the nose, to the touch? Who is there behind? So that was the eternal quest of all the spiritual people in the ancient time. And here it is said that it is that oneness. It is that one absolute, which appears to be many. And many idea is death. One idea is life. Swamiji says in a different way. The fearlessness is immortality. Fearfulness is death. Death. What is death? Death is fearful. And what does it mean? Why it is fearful? Is death. Because when we become fearful, when you become fearful, when you see there is a parallel who can destroy you, separate from you, that's why you are fearful. No one fears himself. I don't fear my hand. I don't fear a knife in my hand. But I will be fearful if someone comes with a knife before me. I have the same knife with me. I am not fearful. Because I know it is me. When I see you are bringing the knife, then I get scared. Whenever there is some separation, and that is death, that is fear, that is anxiety. And then there is oneness, there is all goes away, and it is peace. So harmony, peace, joy, all stands in the concept of oneness. So this here the difference we have heard about this, that between the individual who sees the real self everywhere and another who sees only separate small self, individual self, and we are all separate. The first person who knows the self, but the second has no idea of it. The second is the enmeshed in world. Second means the second who sees the diversity. This is people like us who are enmeshed into the world. We take the worldly things as so important. Not that thinking of the real self as important. That's why we don't find any time for spiritual practice. We say, where is the time? I am so busy from morning. I have no time to think of anything. That's good. But what we are thinking and what is the purpose of that? Is it bringing me life or it is taking me to death and fear? So this is the rishis, the sages, they are reminding us. Do you live in diversity or do you like to come into oneness? You go to the diversity, this is the result. You come to oneness, this is the result. Now, what do you want? So, this idea to clarify, again and again in different ways, they are giving the guidance. The second is enmeshed in the world. He thinks the world is real. He has to enjoy it or suffer. He is incapable of thinking beyond the gross sensuous things and he is steeped in sense pleasure. But the first individual is a discriminating person. He rejects everything that is transitory and seeks only that which is immortal. In doing so, he suffers much hardship, but he does not mind a bit. That's why true. When you take this path of oneness, you suffer so much. Is it not? People will say you are a fool. You trust anyone and everyone. Yeah, what is happening? You are seeing everyone is same. Everyone is Atman. You are a fool in the world. Yes, you are a fool in the world, but you are really rich in the eyes of the sages. Because yours is the right understanding. Yours is the right step. And there is hardship, of course. Every day to practice this oneness in this troubled world. Is it easy? But that is the hardship called tapasya, austerity. The world goes in this way, but you keep your own high standard of inner experience or inner understanding about divinity. That's a great thing. He suffers much hardship, but he does not mind a bit. He takes everything to get control over his mind. Yeah, that's a very beautiful word. He takes everything to get control over his mind, not your mind, not everyone's mind. That is a total difference in the outlook of the Eastern thought, that they think change should be brought here. And if the change is brought here, you need not have to say anything to that person. If a honest person becomes a medical professional, How many people will be helped with that type of person? Only good person who is loving and caring versus one who is running after money. As we hear in poor countries, they operate, they charge so much. Someone I heard recently, something happened in the right knee or something. Only operation charge they took 3,50,000 or something like. Only operation charge. Forget about other expenses done. And they are doing, thinking they are becoming good job. That's true. But suppose he was a little charitable. His mind was a transformed person, thinking it is a great job I am doing. I am serving God in form. Yes, for my sustenance, I need something. But you see, where is the joy? There is joy in collecting money and not enjoying anything. There is joy also having a modest life, nice life, peaceful life, full of love and compassion for others, to help others. That type of feeling. It is the same. One's mind thinks in this way, another mind thinks the other.
It reminds me, there's this big debate in martial arts
Mm.
about who can beat a Tai Chi person. And Tai Chi is just very loose, and so the big argument is, yeah, some big fighter can beat him up, but the point of Tai Chi is to avoid fighting at all and be peaceful. So who wins in that? Like,
Yeah, yeah. That's a very exacting question, but I cannot say anything about that.
it's
But
just your perspective.
uh, yeah, no, you know, I do not know. That is for, if you are raised into such consciousness, then you can do that. But if you are not, then fight. Fight for fight. You cannot go to that person who is trying to kill somebody or destroy somebody. Then you need police. That's why police force is there to take care. Anyway, so point is that a spiritual person really, when he reaches that type of state, he will not protest for death or anything. The death is nothing. Death is a change of their perspective. That death is welcome. Truth is important. That Swamiji says. Truth should not be subordinated under the circumstances. All circumstances should go around the truth only. For truth you can renounce everything, but nothing. Truth cannot be renounced. You can renounce everything for truth, Swamiji said. But truth cannot be given up for anything. That's the values of life. And Sri Ramakrishna's father, look at that. Sri Ramakrishna's father was a poor Brahmin. He's a very honest, very simple, honest, spiritual person. But when the landlord asked him to give a lie in the court, because he's a person where everyone will believe that he's true, he's an honest and truthful person. And he disagreed, and then what happened to his lot? The Jamindar landlord evicted him from his ancestral property, and he became a beggar. He went out of his home without anything, with the deities in his cloth, and that's all. And sat under the tree and thinking, oh my God, where shall I go now? If he has given little support to the landlord said that I will give you more land and more property. What is this? Only to say, yes, this incident is true, I know. And he said, no, I cannot. So rage came and he gave up. And he didn't know. And he was in the street beggar. And in that house, the Lord of the universe came and begged to that man when he was sleeping in Gayadham, oh, Shudiram, I like to be born in your home as your child. And in the dream, that man is saying, who is so truthful, He said, don't come to my home, oh Lord, I am very poor. I don't get my meals, square meal, and you are the Lord of the world. Well, how shall I feed you? And what was his response? You need not have to worry about that. I will take care of that. See, holding on to truth, such a price. He was really driven out and he could not take anything from their home. Confiscated. And then the Lord of the world came and just begged to be the child of that father. So see, the price is, see, this is not worldly price. And worldly, he became lost and he was homeless, and by grace of his friend, he got some shelter, and anyhow, hand to mouth, something, food is going on. But he is charged with devotion, with vision, with experiences. And his mother also getting experiences, visions, Lord Shiva, light, illumination, gods, goddesses walking. Mother is seeing with his eyes open. So see the purity of, strength of truthfulness, real truthfulness. So he takes everything to get control over his mind. He wants his mind fixed on self-knowledge. He wants nothing but self-knowledge. If there is no other desire in his mind except self-knowledge, then his mind is pure. And with such a mind, it is easy to attain self-knowledge. At this point, the individual self, Jivatman, merges into the cosmic self, the Paramatma. That is the end of this chapter, Dvitiyodhyaya, Prathamavalli. Okay? So you have anything to question for 5 minutes? Or we can end.
Swamiji, so it looks like we have this sense of separation and diversity, and then we are told to overcome it and see the unity. So why was the diversity created to begin with? Where did it come from?
Mm-hmm. Where did it come?
The original sense of separation.
Oh, that is the question. That's a very big question you have raised. No one has answered it properly. That some say that you cannot raise that question. Even you are not able, you should not put that question. Because he says this apparent universe, as you are seeing, this is actually your mind, your mental projection. That's why you see the same thing in one way, I see the same thing in another way. Yeah? Object being the same, reactions are different in different person. No? So why these reactions are different? Because your mind different, my mind different. And this is happening in the mental plane. Suppose in the dream, if you see that suddenly you went to sleep and you are in your bed and you saw a lion chasing you. Now you are running and then you ask, hey, why I am being chased by lion? Where the lion came from? That question cannot be solved when you are dreaming. You come out of the dream, then you can remember, oh, it was a dream. Vedanta teaches us this is going a daydream. This daydream will break when you understand that we are that one Satchidananda, absolute. Before that, you cannot put that fundamental question, why? Because you are in your bed. You are sleeping comfortably in your covered house. There is no tiger can come there. But you were running to, and maybe the tiger has chased you and given a blow. And you wake up. And when you wake up, what you see? I'm here. Where is the tiger? Then if someone says, when, how the tiger came, then you can respond, oh, it was in my dream. My mind created that. And in that dream, it came in between because of my various thoughts in the mind. So it is just came. There is no reason and rhyme of it. It is false. The tiger is false, and that man in the dream, that is also false. This man who is putting the question and this man who is responding, these are all false. It is only that reality, that Brahman, that Atman, that is the truth. And that knowledge will come when we wake up. That's why you have to wake up from this daydream. Dhiyo yo na prachodayat. There is a beautiful Upanishadic mantra. It says, Para Dushapnam Parashubha. Oh Lord, this is a sapna. Sapna means dream. But not dream, it is a bad dream. Dushapna. Dushapnagum Parashubha. That's beautiful, 2 words only. Oh Lord, please destroy this terrible dream through which I am going on. Since the day I am born, and every day I am going one dream to the other dream. But it seems so real, I never thought that it is a dream. But reading all these books, thinking deeply, it is dream. And our perception in the dream is happening because of our mental attitude. And that came because of the samskaras. How the samskaras came, it's a very complicated issue. Again and again you are born in ignorance, and in ignorance you see many things, you cannot justify that. In ignorance we see the water in the street, in the freeway, in the desert area we can see water there. You can see some, in the darkness you are going and you can see, mistake a rope for a snake. You can see if you are frightened, oh, it is a dangerous place. Oh, there is a stump tree. Just one piece of wood. And you are thinking, oh, probably that guy is standing there to kill me. No? We do this, all this, it is happening here every time. But in reality, when the knowledge will come, then you will find that no, it is nothing as such. So, this question is very difficult question to answer, and nobody has given right answer. Swami Vivekananda responded this way: when the dream will break, then you will know. And Upanishad says, prayer, oh Lord, let break my this long dream, dreary dream. Sometimes little joy is fun is there in between, but most of the time it is painful and frightening.
But the love, Swami, and the truth that passes through the dream, that seems to be part
but that
of
is
the dream
temporary also.
Huh?
That dream, that joy, that love, that is also temporary. And that fear and this is also temporary.
No, well, it seems to come and go, but we trust that it isn't, love isn't coming and going. We're just not seeing it all the time like the truth.
Now
Right?
that will come when we will really break the dream. Then you will see, I am always safe. I was always joyful. There is no reason, even you are dreaming, your body was in perfect self. Nothing happened to the body. Someone is killing and jumping and feasting and fighting. Nothing. Your body is not injured anyway. But in the dream body you are. Sometimes you are having good relishing food. But you didn't eat before you went to bed. In the early morning you woke up with hunger again. Hunger didn't go. But in the dream you are fully fed. A big feast you ate. So this is happening all the time. But the joy, as you say, yes, the joy never comes, joy never goes, your freedom never goes, never comes. But it appears to come and go in the dream. And this is the state we are in. That's why it goes and comes. But ultimately, when this going, coming will be over, then you will see that I am all the time love, I am all the time bliss, Satchid Ananda.
But we're projecting out.
Eh?
We're projecting out of ourselves, seeing world outside, and it's something we're projecting. So there's a world. And yet, if once
that is called the God's creation. That's called the...
Everything is one, and I hold it inside myself, and I know that if I hold it in, it is going to be Satchidananda. That is the reality. And so I know these two things. Why aren't I?
Well, why are you not? You ask yourself, if I know this, let me think now. I will not think the opposite way. That's called sadhana. That's called spiritual practice. Not talking, but apply this. This moment I know this, why I am doing this. I won't do it. That's your spiritual growth. So we will have to struggle for that. Om Shana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karvavahai Tejasvi Navadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Okay, thank you.